Well, hello. My man Jim Luhan's here for the party. What's up, brother? I had to put out the bat signal for you. I had to say, yo, where's my man Jim at? I need more Luhan in my life. Yeah, you know the countdown. What up, Suze? Squeeze. Jam on it. Wiki, 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 wiki. Murgatroyd. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Coffee Break with JN. Now with more JN. I am your host, JN, Jamar Nicholas. I'll do an ID in a little bit. I can tell that people are a little distracted today, but actually for a couple of days. So I don't expect there to be a million people on here. That's fine. But I figured we would just kick it. Squeeze in the house. Squatty Large in the building. Yeah, so I was talking to some young people that I know in my life, and they're like, Jamar, how are you dealing with this? What's going on? How can you sleep? And I was just like, you know what? We've been doing this dance for a long time. You know, I don't get political on the thing, and it's not about that, but it's also about Matt's calling from another side of the house. What up, Matt? Um, you know what? Clean. Hey, sweetheart, how are you? Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of that. You know what? I should start like printing these little things out and putting them on my wall. That means a lot. Thank you so much. I know it's been crazy out there, and I hope that I can be a little bastion of hope, a ray of sunshine in your bleak week. JRD, I thought you were a tea guy. I hope I'm not starting to warp your sensibilities. But it's good to see you. It's good to see all my Oh, it's good to see my caffeines. Let me get my banner up. You know who you are, caffeines. Friends and regulars, not decaf. Because who drinks decaf? A coffee break with JN. Well, hello. Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't expect to see 1,000 people watching tonight because everybody's eyes are glued to Wolf Blitzer or whoever, and that's cool. And I'm sure, sure if something happens, somebody will say something. Yo, you know what's hotter than July? Nothing is hotter than July. My man Julian Lytle in the building, DMV area represent. Um, if you're not down with Julian, you're on the wrong side of history. You need to correct that. You need to make corrective measures as soon as possible and get down with his team. JRD says, I say 1 cup of coffee a week for this hour. You guys are making me feel real good tonight. I appreciate that. You know, almost like Transformers the movie, like we need to light our darkest hour. Coffee break with JN may be the matrix of leadership that we all need right now. Yo, Bros, what's up, brother? El Jamal, what up, sir? Here. Hey, Mama Carla, how are you? How's my baby brother from another? I'm feeling good. As crazy as the world is right now, I'm feeling good. And I think that we all are masters of our own fate. You can choose to be miserable, or you can choose to be great. So I'm choosing to be great. JRD says, nah, I was having a weird social media moment just before this. Yeah. Yeah, so I actually put some notes down tonight. I was thinking about it. Seems like all of these coffee breaks go back to nostalgia, right? And I hope I'm not aging out anybody or anybody who's not a gray beard or has to go get their roots done to get rid of that gray. If you're not of that age that you don't care about Coffee Break with JN, I wonder. Hey, Caitlin, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, I love seeing my old caffeine show up. Hang out. Let me know you're here. Jim Lujan says, "Be marvelous." Marvelous. I like it. Sometimes people would ask me, "Jamar, how you doing? How you feeling?" And I would say, "AAA, awesome as always." And then they go, "Oh, that Jamar." Colleen checks in with a nice witticism. Choose your own adventure. Choose great. Choose to do good recklessly, and we'll be all right. I love it. So I was. I think I'm bouncing off of my podcast energy. We had a really, really good podcast last night on Pencil to Pencil with Mike Manley and myself. We interviewed Jim Borgman. If you don't know who Jim Borgman is the we never really got into how that works, but he is a cartoonist on the comic strip Zits, and everybody's read Zits, right? Come on, everybody's read Zits. This is amazing. And I got to know Jim. I interviewed him in Draw Magazine like years ago, and it was a really, really, really good interview. And sometimes I'm still surprised that I've had a really good track record of meeting other other really high level creatives. I'm still in a place where when these people show up on a podcast, once in a while somebody hits me with the wow emoji. But if Monty's watching out there and some Max and some of the other people, you know what I said, no wow emojis in 2020. Because this is what we do. We just do amazing shit. And then you just got to get used to it. And that also means that you could do that too, right? So stop being surprised. Like we just do dope stuff and just get used to it. But anyway. I interviewed Jim in the Murdical, and when we started doing the video version of Draw Magazine, which is Pencil to Pencil, I was like, I'd like to check back in with Jim, and I reached out to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I had a great time doing that interview. I'd love to." And I was just like, "Oh really?" Like I was surprised. I was so surprised. So Jamazing, and I've been waiting. A little Luther for you. JRD says, "Great show last night. It wasn't long enough, though." I've talked about in the past about how I just am trying, and I don't know if I'm going to change now that we're only doing Pencil to Pencil once a week. That was part of what I was getting to. We cut out doing the podcast on Saturdays, mainly just because it's like, I would get a lot of comments from people going, "Dude, you do this twice a week? I don't know how you do it." And I kind of do a lot of like octopus arm stuff. Like I co-host it, I produce it. I do all the graphics and all the stuff while we're in the middle of a podcast. And that's fun for me and it's cool. And we talked about that before, kind of fits my personality. But one thing I was feeling like was once it started to crawl into the end of the year and, my plate is getting more full with, my scholastic work, and Mike's always busy. Mike just fits everything in. I didn't want to spare that kind of time out of the chair in that way. So what I found is with the Wednesday podcast, I think I have more energy. Not like I didn't have energy before, but I just feel really focused on those Wednesdays. JRD told me to remember things about him. He said, "Remember, I'm a massive Borgman fan, both Zits and his political stuff." Well, we'll have to have him back on. And, I guess what I was getting to was that even though we're still only doing a 2-hour show, there's the kind of the impetus to maybe do a longer show because it's once a week. But, I'm not seeing the numbers yet. We've run the numbers, we do the analytics. We've had some AAA diamond star-studded guests on the show. Mike doesn't like to hear this, but I think the world of Mike, and he's a modern master of comic books. And this isn't like the schlub hour where we just have a bunch of neckbeards on, like arguing about the latest issue of Daredevil. Like this is like real stuff. So not to say I got down about the numbers, but it's kind of like we're really spinning our wheels hard here, and I'm not really seeing the numbers spike like I'd like. So I'm just going to pull back a little bit. Maybe at the beginning of next year, we'll see how it feels. When we're in the winter doldrums, and maybe you guys need Pencil to Pencil to come back. Eternity forever. Hello. Hello from YouTube. And this is the first time I think I've put Coffee Break on the Pencil to Pencil YouTube. So hello, anybody on YouTube. If you're new to this on YouTube, because I usually hide this stuff behind the Facebook wall. Welcome to Coffee Break with JN. You might remember me from Pencil to Pencil, the other guy on the screen with Mike Manley. And you might be asking yourself, all right, I get it, but where's Manley? Now this is my show. This is just me doing my thing. I chop it up with you guys. And there's also ID. My caffeines know what's going to happen in a minute. You may say, what is this? Well, this is Coffee Break with JN. I'm JN, Jamar Nicholas. Captain Scholastic, as JRD calls me, Philly Donahue, the Kevin Bacon of comic books. You get it. In your internet safe space. Hello. What happens on this thing? There's a gimmick. What happens on this coffee break is I step away from my drafting table at 9 p.m. on Thursday nights, and I get to kick it with my caffeines. You know who you guys are. The friends and regulars, not decaf, of Coffee Break with JN. And I sip this coffee and run my mouth. And when I'm out of coffee, video's over. So hang out with me. You might learn something. That's a good one. But what's one thing is really interesting? I do like plays on my name all the time, but I always feel weird when other people do it. Like my online Facebook marketplace, the Jamarketplace. Eternity forever. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I have to ask if you're enjoying this. Eternity says, you're right about the numbers. I wonder all the time why they don't go beyond what they do. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's analytics. I don't know if it's keywords. There's people way smarter than me about this stuff who maybe can tell me what I'm doing wrong. But it's like, I try not to worry about the numbers, Eternity, but it's a little disheartening. Like I don't know if there's one thing that's going to make me go, oh yeah, this is worth it. But I think all of this is worth it in the long run. I was talking to our good buddy Steve Conley, and he said something really cool. He said that all the content on Pencil to Pencil, all these videos that we've done are evergreen, meaning you could watch them at any time and get something new out of it. If you didn't see the Sean Galloway interview, go look at it. It's just as fresh as we did it last night. Probably the most popular video we've done was probably Brian Lee O'Malley or Walton Weezy. It's in between those two. Go watch it. It's not like it's old, it was like a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's, I didn't put this on the YouTube channel tonight to campaign, but it's just like, we don't get a chance to really talk about this stuff with you guys, the viewers, because we're doing an interview. But, I say this all the time. I say it on the podcast with Mike, is like, you guys got to get the word out. Don't hoard this. Don't keep it to yourself. I want to get the numbers up. I'd love to monetize the YouTube channel, but we're nowhere near that. But, like I look at my buddies, Jim and Ed at Cartoonist Kayfabe. I love Cartoonist Kayfabe. I think it's the smartest comic book show on the internet. And then I also love Comic Tropes. Our good buddy Chris over at Comic Tropes. It's a fantastic guy. they deserve every subscriber they have. And I feel like, Pencil to Pencil could be up there too. But it's really going to come down to you guys to help spread the word. And everybody that does, thank you so much for your support. We love it. We love you for it. But got to keep it going. Suze says, what coffee mug are you using tonight? Well, dear heart, this is the mind of Lars Lazarus. This is my good buddy Jim Luhan's show. His anime. Did you watch the Jim Luhan episode of Pencil to Pencil where we interviewed him? This is his newest episodic cartoon on YouTube. Go watch it. And I did a couple of voices on there. So it was a lot of fun. And he was sweet enough to send me this mug. Jim, are you still watching? Sip of coffee for Jim Luhan. Hey, Michael, how are you? See, all our peeps are here. Michael Cooper says, I really appreciate Pencil to Pencil a great deal. Thank you so much. I have watched other artist podcasts, but Pencil to Pencil is the only one with a singular focus on craftsmanship. See what I'm saying? It's right there. Thank you. Matt says, we have to spread the word. Yes, thank you. JRD says, it's probably a combination of both, JN, plus pandemic video overload. It's harder to break through. You might have a point, but like you'll have people tell you that, well, you just got to keep dumping content on them, flooded with content, right? But then I also think there's Zoom fatigue, right? And there's like video burnout and all that kind of stuff. But, I want to think that the vibe of the show, the caliber of guests, the production values of the show, the star power of Mike Manley, modern master of comic books, and my gregarious nature, my smiling angelic countenance, and matinee idol good looks should be enough to get those numbers up, right? Real rap. That's my Philly for tonight. Real rap. Know what I mean? All right. Colleen says, you really could get new stuff out of any of the P2P shows. Sometimes it's a matter of time allocation for me. That's interesting. But you know what? That also was a thing of just looking at the numbers by the lives. Like, I think the lives are one thing, and I like that it's a intimate, small thing. If there were like, there was one Facebook person that I really enjoy, and I caught a lot of bugs for wanting to do these Facebook lives and all this other stuff from her. As Antonella, the uncensored reviewer, this British lady who tries on stuff, and I think she's a comedian in England, and she started doing these live Facebook things, and there'd be like, you would see just like it was almost like playing Guitar Hero and Expert. It's just comments and hearts and all this stuff flying up the screen the whole video. And I'm glad we don't have that. Like, I can kick it with all of you. I could put Colleen on the screen and we could talk for a bit. Jim Luhan comes through with the hearts. You know what I'm saying? I can give you guys that love. So I like it being intimate. I like it being controllable. But after the stream is over, the stuff lives on. Like, everything's still on our YouTube. So it's not, it's not like it goes cold like leftovers. But I don't know. I'm not really complaining. You see what I'm saying. And Eternity agrees, kayfabe and comic tropes, two of the greats. That's right. Carla says, I'm trying to spread the word on my pages. I was just discovered by a new group. Well, I appreciate that. JRD says, plus you have to find time to make the content. I'm struggling to make 2 videos a month. See, that's another thing I'm saying. I think, like everybody said, just takes time. I'm not frustrated, but also I'm a big proponent of self-care. I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my family. I need to take care of my stuff on that table over there. And, at the end of the day, all this stuff is free, right? And I think we give away, what we're saying, people were saying when we were doing the comic boot camps on Pencil to Pencil, these are master classes that we're giving away. And I think there's value to that, right? And, it just, your eyeballs and just the community that we're building is just, that's really at the end of the day enough for me. But all of that said, something's got to give. And if I'm not seeing the numbers for this, like I got to pull something off of the table. So we're down to one interview a week on Pencil to Pencil. And next Wednesday, this Wednesday coming up, we're gonna have Keith Knight on. And Keith, if I hope you went and saw Woke on Hulu, Keith's show, because I talked about it for like a year straight. He's going to be on a podcast on Wednesday. I'm really excited to catch up with him and talk about just, this new chapter of his career, and still doing he does his comics every day almost. And, where we are as graybeards now, I think we're all in really interesting chapters in our lives. Yo, Stunt Ken, what's up, brother? Like Kenny is a perfect example of like some of the great relationships that we've gotten just from being internet buddies, right? The community we're building here with Coffee Break with JN, like we're going to get those mugs, right? I'm going to make these mugs and you guys are going to snap them all up. And then we'll have like meetups once COVID's over and it'll be amazing. That means the world to me, So Mike says that Joe Jusko interview will continue to be relevant long into the future. Yes. Note, perfect interview. It was right up my alley. Thank you so much. And I felt that way about, like, we've had a really good run. Like the Joe Jusko interview was amazing. Jim Borgman was a sweetheart. If you missed it, you might have, I'll give you a little kernel. We talk about when Jim spent the beginning of his career as a editorial cartoonist at the Cincinnati Enquirer. And before that, when he was in college and he was doing comic strips for the school paper, in his senior year, a young freshman came onto the paper and his name was Bill Watterson. Right? And everybody was like, what? And I think I knew that. Like, I think maybe, I can't remember. We all try to be cartoonist historians. And the funny thing that happened after that was we were kind of like, that's interesting, but it's not surprising, right? Because that goes back to something I've said a long time ago about, Colleen knows, and some other people who know me in different ways know, that I would talk about my comic book career life and being the Kevin Bacon of comic books. And the reason I say that is because, and this isn't even name dropping, it's like you're around long enough, people come up with you, people get successful or go on to do really big things. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember him. Or, we shared a cab, or we split a table like for 6 years at San Diego. You know what I mean? And people go, wow, you know who? You know what? Which, I don't want to lose the point of what I'm saying, dials into, because you know me, or somebody who knows other people, that has to rewire the way you think about me, right? I used to say it like this: if you know me, then I can't be famous, right? That's kind of the thing where I would read these interviews with other cartoonists. I think there was a famous one with Lynn Johnston who did For Better or For Worse. And she said things like, my kids and my family could care less about me being a cartoonist, but they're really geeked to know that I know the guy who draws Garfield. So you see where I'm going with that. Yep, exactly, Suze. And that was like a really fun point to bring up. All right, let me go back a little bit. Wow, look at all that. I missed a lot. I was right at my mouth. Yeah, a lot of hand claps for Keith Knight. Keith and I go way back. I said, this is funny. Hold on. I think I might be running out of time because I've been running my mouth so much tonight. And, I don't want to, I don't know. I struggle with this sometimes. But, when I talk about these things, or talk about these people, I think somebody could take that as name dropping. But it's just, it's just what it is. So I try not to think of it in those terms, right? I would love to think somebody somewhere is saying they know me. What are the chances, right? Where is it? Now I'm looking for it. I can't find it. I'll come back around to it. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool comments here. Let me go back to them in a second. It's also weird to be able to, I don't know how you guys feel about this, see yourself on the internet. Once in a while, a student would come up to me, he's like, oh, yo, Wikipedia page? Yeah. Yo, I'd like put your name in Google and like all these things came up. Yeah. It's such a surreal thing to watch people react to you. You know, I don't know. All right, let me get back to this. Okay, so Colleen says in regard to Pencil to Pencil, they are masterclass level. Thank you. I'm now shockingly aware of a bunch of different folds. Yeah, and I know Colleen and I know Suze will sometimes go out and pick up work from the guest. I think that's great. Like June Brigman was amazing. Brian Lee O'Malley. There's almost not even almost everybody we have on the show is A plus. Angela, what's up? Angela Sky says, I can't wait for the mugs. I'm just gonna make these mugs. All right. And we're just gonna get it popping. We're gonna have the caffeine meetup. JRD says, yes, self-care is key. I'm in PT for nerve damage to my right arm, my drawing arm. Gotta watch that, bro. And I keep apologizing to my patients because I feel I'm shorting the art while I rehab. You got to take care of yourself. And, I hope people don't like cut bait because you're hurt. Like, that sucks. Colleen says, Keith, thank you for putting the word out about Keith. Woke is awesome. Yeah, Keith and I go back a long way. We kind of knew about each other because I was doing the Jamar Chronicles and he had already had like a couple of years doing the K Chronicles. And somebody told him about me. He's like, yo, there's somebody doing the J Chronicles. And he was like, yo, I want to meet this dude. Like we were going to rumble or something. And our things had nothing to do with each other. I thought that was funny. Caitlin says, I love that idea. I'm all about getting more coffee mugs. Yes. Yes, coffee meetups. Yes, it's happening. Yes, yes, yes. Eternity Forever says there is a comics YouTuber starting in July 2019. She has 5 million views and 78,000 subs. I don't know how she did it so fast. I don't think there's a Zoom or COVID problem. Getting the word out must be key. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you, Colleen. Colleen's so smart with it. 6 degrees of separation, Kevin Bacon, a comic. So that's also a thing that says that this industry is so small. Don't you dare talk ill of somebody because you don't know who you're saying things to. Kenny Wong says, oh, there's all types of superstars in here tonight. Those details are absolutely essential to the history of comics. Aspiring artists must be educated about the history and the pioneers of the comics, people that paved the way for them today. Word. I said I know you a couple of days ago to Dean Hasfield. Did Dean have his shirt off when he told him that? Yo, shout out to Dino. What's up, brother? Brooklyn. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, and I hope Dean had something decent to say about me. I'm watching you. Jamal says, I finally figured out the comment section. I know you from Schaumburg. Yeah, what's up, brother? Yeah, we met at the Black Comic Book Festival couple of years ago, right? It's good to see you around. I've seen you pop up a couple of times. Yeah, so keep enjoying the content. Thank you. Oh, dude, you're behind, man. You got to cop that. It's on Hulu. Michael says, Terry Beatty's interview was so great. Nice slice of comic history. And I've been saying this, and it's weird because I know people come from different fandoms. I know I've connected with a lot of people because they followed in a guest and then stayed around because they really enjoyed the channel. And you know what? For any of you penciliers out there, tell me what's the first Pencil to Pencil episodes you watched or listened to, because we're also on iTunes and stuff, and maybe why you stayed around. So like every one of these, I think, are good in their own way. So it could be a little disingenuous to say, oh, I came here because I'm a fan of so-and-so. And then you're like, probably like, just like, needle through the rest of them like, oh, I know who that is. Oh, I don't know who that is. Oh, I know who that is. I never heard of this person. Watch all of them because you'll get something out of them. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate that. Yes, self-care is key. And, I have to be able to. Oh, you're talking to JRT. Oh, that's sweet. Kitty says, yeah, the shirt on. Kitty says, Dean loves you, so expect a call from him. All right. I'll keep my phone on. Thanks, bro. JRD says, my only complaint about Pencil to Pencil is that there's no way to do an episode about past legends, like a discussion on Matt Baker or Alex Schomburg, that sort of thing. Well, you know what? I think that's interesting. And especially when Brett comes around, we do a lot of like callbacks and, people start pulling out art books and we start doing that kind of deep dive. And maybe there's a way we can do that. Like, we could do an easy episode on Kniff, and Mike's like a Kniff historian. I've been doing a lot of research on Hergé, and I've been trying to read a lot of Tintin. And I didn't grow up on Tintin, but that's some really heavy European stuff. And I've realized a lot of people from the hood didn't read Tintin. So, I've been like getting into that, and it's just, like a classic, really clean adventure strip. But yeah, there's no reason that we can't dedicate something to somebody like that. I know that Kayfabe boys do a lot of stuff like that, but I think that's an interesting stripe to look into. Kitty Wong says, my first episode was with my good friend Eric Battle. Yo, respect to the architect, Eric Battle, Philadelphia. And after that, I was like, oh, where have you guys been all my life? Yeah, that was a great talk with Eric. It's all good, man. El Jamal, I listened to the very first P2P episodes via iTunes because of you and Mike. Well, Jamal, we go back a ways. The triad of confusion, L. Jamal Walton, Jamar Nicholas, and Jamal Igle. Confusing white people since 2000. That's great, man. I love you. Thank you. Colleen says, I think the boot camp episodes were like this. Yeah, we do a lot of deep diving, and it's interesting because even though we're all huge fans of cartooning history, we all kind of lean in on different places. Like, Mike can do deep dives of Kniff and Star and, Hal Foster and all those. And I could talk about, Sagar or Smythe, who did Andy Cap, and, Mort Walker and all that kind of stuff, because I was a strip guy first and foremost, and, in a different way that Mike is a fan. So, yeah, it's all in there. Mama Carla, I love Tintin. Hey, man, don't you? I told you there's a story behind this, but we went out to breakfast with the Waringos and the Dean's family and some other people in the Ringo stratosphere. And I like grapefruit. And I ordered a grapefruit half because I'm trying to watch my deal. And they brought out a grapefruit spoon, and it kind of boggled me. I'm like, yo, what's up with this spork? They were like, Jamar, don't you know that's a grapefruit spoon? I was like, yo, real rap. I've never seen that in my life. So, I catch some heat for that, but it's real. Jamal says, I did read a little Tintin. The movie was okay. Yeah, I mean, that was like the CG thing, right? I just saw a little clip of that. El Jamal says, I can't wait for people to try to get me to sign Leon books. It's going to happen, bro. Mike says, my comic... Oh, sorry. Sorry, Mike. The things are moving. Let me read what Angela just said. My comic book illustration class had a Zoom meeting with my teacher and Mike. Cool. And then Pencil to Pencil was mentioned in the end. I looked into it out of curiosity, and I saw one of your Coffee Break with JM podcasts and instantly liked it. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I love how everybody kind of comes together in different ways. Mike says, my first episode was just you, Mike, and Brett chatting and drawing. For me, you guys are Draw Magazine. Thank you. I need some emojis I can put on the screen. Thanks for that. You guys are Draw Magazine, which is like superstar status. Move over, Kardashians. I need to work on my vocal fry. Welcome to Coffee Break. Thanks, brother. You know, and a lot of people still don't know about Draw Magazine. And usually the thing with Draw is people think they don't make it anymore, you know, and really it's a labor of love comic. I'm sorry, it's a labor of love magazine. Mike's the editor in chief. It comes out when we can get it out. We're doing seasonally, then kind of turns into occasionally. And, you know, on top of how hard it is to do anything in print, you know, it's a tough road, but the magazine's been around for almost 20 years and they still make it. That's why we do hard pushes on tomorrow's publishing. So you can go to Tomorrow's and order whatever you need. It's all good. And, you know, again, like I've interviewed tons of great people. I had a great interview with Jim Rugg years ago in the magazine. And that was fantastic. So thanks, bro. Sue says, what? This isn't Jamal Eichel's coffee break? OMG. Matt says, we need to get you an egg holder too. Is that for what do you call it? That's a poached egg, right? When you like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I don't like runny eggs. We might have to start a whole other podcast about people who like runny eggs. I'm not down. I know it's great when you sop up the with the bread that's gross. Sorry, fam. You gotta scramble those or do something with them. I like an omelet, but I can't like and just ugh. Jared D said, yeah, it was a big point of contention at the thing. Right? It's like, what is this? Let's see, now here come the jokes. We get it. All right, I'll throw in a little happy face. Winky. Yo, July, you still here? Man, there's so many things. I keep missing them. Carla says, I love the Tintin cartoon. They used to watch it on Saturday mornings in California. I don't think I've ever seen that. I knew about the albums, the European books, but I don't think I ever saw the cartoon. July says, Spielberg's Tintin film was quite fun and merged some of the art with using actors for the CG. Yeah, like some of like the dudes got the big nose. I'll have to peep that. Colleen says, we're doing so good not talking about food. I know, we're so close. Speaking of Draw Magazine, what up, E? Eric is the glue in the soul of Tomorrow's Publishing. My favorite editor. What up, man? It's good to see you. I didn't know you were watching. And please go to tomorrows.com right now. Where's my John? Hold on a second. I got to change things. We're in the wrong John. Oh no, I did it wrong. Hold on a second. Where's the other John? Okay, the banner Johns. I have to put this on. Oh, I'm so confused now. Oh, forget it. But yeah, go cop Eric's Modern Master series. Was the editor and interviewer on all of those. So good. Oh, I didn't even read what you said, E. I never liked runny eggs either until I started making ramen and poke bowls. Now I'm all about it. You know what? I might have to walk that back a little bit. Because, you know, once in a while you have breakfast with people who are like, you learn a lot about people when you watch them eat breakfast. That's why when we had Panosian on and I was giving him the business about how he cuts his pancakes into like geometrical shapes and then puts syrup in the crevices. I think I had an egg that was kind of runny and it was kind of good because it was warm, but it's just it's a consistency thing. All right, I'm trying to keep up with you. Matt says, hey now, you ate Scrapple. Scrapple's dope. If you don't like Scrapple, fight me. Yeah, Carla hates runny eggs too. Scrapple is live. Oh man. All right. Hey Allie, how are you? Hey Jamar, I saw this notification that you were live. Didn't even know that was a thing. Where have you been? Oh, I've been off social media for years. I was just catching up. This is a cool setup. You don't have to put me on the thingy, but just wanted to say, hi. Hey, Allie, how are you? Thanks for joining. Yeah, this is what I do. I do a lot of videos, so welcome. Eljamal says, I was wondering when we would get to food. I like eggs cooked however they come. Yeah, you know what? Food's always good when somebody else makes it. Carla says, wow, it might be on YouTube. Oh, the Tintin cartoon. JRD recants what I just said. Eric puts the Modern Masters books together. Great series. Oh, I think I have all of them. I might be, you know what? I loaned a couple out, and you don't ever load out your Modern Masters books because you're not getting them back. So I'm going to have to cop the whole set again. Eric, you should just get on camera. Mike says, Eric, I really treasure my Modern Masters. Fantastic layout and design. Chock full of interview goodness. July says, wait, you don't grid cut your pancakes and waffles? Nah, fam. Let's just go in my face. I don't have time for that. Jim Luhan checking in from the West Coast. I want Scrapple. I've never had it. Well, next time you come to PA, we'll have to fix that. I think this is a perfect time for an ID. What do you think? See, now I messed all my stuff up. You're watching Coffee Break with JN. With me, JN, Jamar Nicholas. The Kevin Bacon of comics. The Black Dick Cavett. And your internet best friend. Hello. What are we doing here tonight, my friend? Well, we're hanging out with the Caffeines. You know who you are, Caffeines. And we're watching your favorite cartoonist, Jamar Nicholas, drink coffee and run his mouth. Out of my Jim Luhan mug. And you know what happens when I'm out of coffee. This is all over. You got to go back to reality. Sorry. Oh, Suze, you got to stop it. Don't be messing them up. Scrapple's dope. Mike says, please keep posting the coffee breaks on YouTube. I quit Facebook. That's good to know. Thanks. And you know what? To be honest, I put this on YouTube by accident because I don't know. I felt like I didn't want to mix church and state with the coffee breaks and pencil to pencil. But maybe I'll keep doing this. All right, I'll do it. You know who you are, Caffeines. The friends of regulars, not decaf. Of Coffee Break with Jen. Well, hello. Let's give a shout out to Patreon. You know about Patreon. That's where you can hang out with me. Yes, me. We just got a Discord channel. Me and Kenny Wong chop it up all day in the Discord. I've seen some of you guys in the Discord. It's fun. I usually jump on in the evening, like around after this is over. I might just be in there chilling. And we just post GIFs, and we have Kenny. What did we do? The Soul Train dance party a couple of days ago. That was fun. But I have to give a GLO, good looking out, to my patrons at the $2 level. Thank you so much for your support. Can't do this without you. And you can find out more about what I do if you go to my Patreon. Which is right here. Patreon.com/Jamar Nicholas. We have such fun. Why don't you get on that bus? I gotta turn my phone off. What's going on? Okay, hold on. JRD says after the break we all sing "Food, glorious food." Scrapple is yummy, yes. Eternity, the Black Dick Cavett. Oh, you like that one? That's what's up. Yeah, Kitty just said Discord is where Jay and I have the Soul Train disco party. Yeah, man. Oh, what? Yo, Jim, you didn't even tell me. You've been quiet. Shameless promo. Lars Lazarus find that finale on Patreon tonight. Patrons only. Jim, man, put the link into your Patreon. We need to go right now. Colleen says, who's hitting you up during this, John? Don't they know you're hosted? I can't tell you how many times I've had to tell people, yo, podcasting, fam. right? With podcasts and family, you know how this is. Um, this kind of went somewhere else. It's so funny. I had notes I was going to talk about stuff, but I wanted to share one thing with you guys before we run out of time here. Yeah, go to Jim Lahan's Patreon. Jim is a brilliant, brilliant mind, and he's a great storyteller. So you need to support him any way you can. The Turd Team Forever says, when are the three J's coming to Pencil to Pencil? So that'll be El Jamal, Jamar, and Jamal Eigel. Yeah, Jamal, we have to get you on, man. El Jamal Walton's been in the game for a minute, and he's been mixing it up real lovely. He's a fantastic designer. He's an amazing colorist. He's a great letterer. He's an amazing storyteller. You know, and I think we can also talk about, we talk about this a lot on Pencil to Pencil, is, you know, I talk about classes all the time, like how you got in the door. You usually came in with other people around the same time. That's why I talk about, like, me and Mike Hawthorne are so tight, because we kind of came in at the same time, and Mike Norton was here a little bit before us, but I helped create that Indie Cred All-Stars thing, which was kind of like a umbrella for a bunch of cartoonists who have, well, a lot of them are going on to do amazing things. Some of them I never heard from again. That's just how it is. But there was also, right before Google took over, there was like the era of the message boards. And I remember digital webbing was hot. You would go to digital webbing to find gigs, like comic book gigs. And where else were you going to find that? There were other places like Pencil Jack and Ink Studs and all these other type of things. And I would love to talk about all that stuff. JRD says, that would mess Mike up. Jamal, yes. Jamar, no. Jamal, El Jamal, Jamal, and Jamar. Jamal wants to get on. So many J's up in this bitch. El Jamal says, they just want to see all my toys. Yeah, you got a nice setup. Yo, Dino, what's up, brother? Yo, we summoned you. Kitty Wong summoned you out of the abyss. How you doing, brother? Dean Haspiel, everybody. Sip of coffee for Dino. Hope you're surviving out there, bro. Yeah, we had a great Dean, didn't you get interviewed in the magazine? Yeah, I remember that issue. Yeah, we should catch up. Give me a shout. Let's figure that out. Thanks for watching. And Dean, is this the first time you've watched Coffee Break? You need to let me know that. Oh, Artzilla, Smax, Air Horn. Yeah, Artzilla, Lead Heavy, all of those crews. That's what's up. Look, Dean's getting love up in the Coffee Break. That's what's up. Hold on a second. JRD says Jamal's Pencil to Pencil episode had the best cameo when his kid marched through at the beginning. That's what's up. Man, look, Dino, you just need to take over and I can leave. They love you in here. Look at that. I love it. Yeah, man. And I hope, here's one thing that I've been talking about with the guests of the show. I've been saying, and maybe Dean can talk to this. A few of the guests we've had on, I will say things like, if you could, you don't have to, but it'd be great if you could signal boost your appearance on the show, right? And the reason I'm saying that is, I talked about numbers at the beginning of this. If you tell I call them constituents. If you tell your constituents that you're going to be on this thing, they'll have a chance to watch you in a different place and interact with you when we do the lives, ask decent questions, maybe get a chance to have parley with you in a different way than they've ever had before. And then we also get some new eyeballs on the show and the channel. A lot of times people don't do that, and I think sometimes, and I don't know, and I'm not even saying names because I don't have anybody to point this at. Sometimes I think with other creatives who get asked to do things a lot, it's just something to get through or get over, or maybe you're nervous, or maybe you think somebody's going to submarine you with some like loaded question. But I usually tell people before that, have you watched the show? Have you watched the show? If you haven't, watch the show. Just watch one episode, and that should put you at ease. And the best thing to me is after the show's over and they go, wow, guys, thank you so much. That was a great interview. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. I love talking shop. This was great. And I think that's another part of the specialness of Pencil to Pencil, is that we're dudes talking shop who are in the business. No diss to anybody who's doing like fandom podcasts. Love you all. But that's not what we're doing, right? So it's important that you kind of push that out. And, you know, Dino's right on point. Signal boosting is key. It creates a culture community. Thanks, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all out here just trying to make good content. And somebody said, like, Draw Magazine is like the big mother of Pencil to Pencil. And we're just giving you the same type of dopeness, but in video form. So let's get the word out there. Kenny, don't don't push up. D gonna do a guest spot on P2P shirtless. Dean, you're never gonna live that down, are you? We might have to talk about that. That's gonna haunt you forever. Oh, but one funny thing is, I remember this was like early internet, and I don't know why. I remember I think I Googled myself, and there was a picture of Dean like just like buck naked in my image results, and I came up to Dino at the show. I was like, why am I seeing your naked ass on Google when I'm trying to search for myself? Oh man, so great. All right. Dean says, I occasionally watch y'all wax comics while drawing. Well, that's what's up. That's a good studio listen. Appreciate that, bro. So I'm running out of time, but I wanted to show you guys this real quick. I had notes, and my notes were, maybe we can do this real quick, because I like to talk to you guys and ask you questions and see what you think. I'm not going to do that one. What was your first job? What was your very first job? It could be working papers young, like when you're 14, 15. I don't really want to count paper routes. Like, everybody had a paper route. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, like, you had to fill out an application sitting on a curb of a 7-Eleven, and they were like, all right, I guess you could start Monday. Like, first job. But speaking of digital webbing, what's up, Ed? How are you? Dude, you're having a coffee break at 10? How are you going to sleep? Welcome to the show. This is what we do around here. Ed, how did you hear about this? I've been doing this for over a year. I think this is my maybe year and a half of coffee breaks. I'm a cartoonist, man. We drink coffee forever. Carla says, as a creative, I appreciate learning techniques and processes. Thanks to you and Mike. Thank you very much. I think that finally got pushed down into the double digits, but it's still there. Did we talk about this before? As Matt just said, he was a janitor, and I feel like I knew that. Suze, you worked at Pizza Hut. You must have been the most darling Pizza Hut person. What did you get from that job? Like, did you learn about the human condition? You know, I'm sure everybody walks away from their first job with something like, whatever you do, don't ever order the curly fries. Or, you know, in the mozzarella sticks, that's not mozzarella. Like, I need to have some sort of takeaway from that. Yeah, Matt, I think, no, you know, maybe you told me that when we were just like hanging out once. JRD says, first page up, yes. Where you got money and you put it in your sock and you went and bought like David Cassidy records. Kitty Wong says, I worked at the World Trade Center as a messenger in my sophomore year in high school. Wow. Yeah, that's wild. The world's changed, hasn't it? Angela, I worked as a sales associate at a Vicky's Secret. Wow. I don't know, for some reason that seemed odd to me. Is that kind of like a first job type of thing? I guess I don't know. I guess it's just retail, right? But for some reason it seems like, I don't know, like scaled up. Like I don't know if I would hire a teenager. So well, but actually that's me just assuming that you were a teenager. Like you could have had your first job when you were 22. So shame on me for assuming. But that's interesting. How old were you? Caitlin says, I worked at a Kumon Learning Center. Always the teacher. So Max, he's bringing it back. I was a maintenance man in the project. How did you get that? So Max, were you handy, or were you like studying under somebody? Because that sounds like a really stressful job. Colleen says, I was a barista at my local coffee shop. It was my first legit taxable employment. Bump of cinnamon. Allie says, nursing home waitress. Wow. JRD says, building and maintaining a computer database of all the murders in Virginia, mid-'80s. Still, that's your after-school job. That's a lot. El Jamal says, first job working in tobacco field, first job that required an application, lab tech in college. Yeah, that's very North Carolina, working in tobacco fields. That's crazy. Hey, what up, Steven? Man, I had 52 houses. That paper route was serious business. I'm going to call you Paper Boy. That was a real job, I guess, working at Linen and things. Well, that's a heavy paper route. I'll give you that one. Sue says, I could fold pizza boxes like crazy. Did you see that Domino's commercial where the guy's like the world's fastest pizza box maker? Jamal says, fantasy construction was my first. What? I don't, you got to have to explain that one. Gino's in Atlantic City. Wow. Ed says, first job, York Steakhouse as a busboy. Ed, tell us something you learned about humanity by being a busboy at the York Steakhouse. Angela says, I was 18 and needed money. Well, no, I feel you. Dino says he needs a whole episode of Pencil to Pencil to talk about his part-time gigs. When we talk on your show, I could talk about all the part-time gigs I have while trying to break into comics. Yeah, man, we're almost kind of like Renaissance men, right? E says, I mowed grass as a kid. First real job was the summer after I graduated high school, working for a civil engineer doing survey work. That's cool. You get that little like Indiana Jones like survey joint, right? So Max says, my uncle was head of maintenance. It was Prey. I could make a comic about it. I think you have to. Matt says, I feel like my first job will end up coming back and being my last job. Man, that's the circle of life right there. We had a lot of fun tonight, you guys. I'm going to start wrapping it up. But I think I wanted to share this. If it's still there, or did I lose it? Hold on a second. This is the time of night where we start to say our goodbyes. I like to say goodbye to you. So let's say our goodbyes. This is what I wanted to share with you. This is not my first job, but it's one of my jobs in the middle of my young life. I was a cashier at Home Depot. And I kept this. This was like my flair. These were my cashier college badges that I wore on my apron. And at my store, I would write everybody's names on their apron because everybody liked my lettering. And kind of before I left Home Depot, they wanted me to be a sign, like one of the sign writers back when he still did that stuff. Remember early Home Depot when it was a big box killer destroying all of your mom and pop hardware stores in your neighborhood? They used to do handwritten signs for all of their prices on stuff. And they even had like an old school drafting board in the back room with markers. And somebody had did it before I got there. And I was really into that. But then I was like, no, that's just more work. But I learned a lot about there was a weird hierarchy there where I caught a lot of flack because I was a cashier. And I guess apparently that wasn't macho enough, and I should have been on a forklift or like hauling lumber or something like that. But I would get into weird little dust ups in the break room. It was a lot like prison. It was really interesting. So, all right, let's say some goodbyes. Oh, wait, hold on. Yes, the Max almost got shot twice. I'm not laughing at that, but that sounds like something that would happen. Jamal says we built things for like the giant Christmas balls that are outside of 6 Avenue. Oh, fantasy construction. I'm sure if you told somebody that at a dinner party, they'd be like, what? All right, let's get those goodbyes in so I can, you guys can go back to worrying about the election. Colleen says, good night, JN. Always a pleasure. You're the highlight of my Thursday. Thank you so much. You mean the world to me. Matt says, that's a lot of flair. I have a lot of pieces of flair. Good night. I make Matt address all our envelopes. You know those Waringo boys. They got good handwriting. Good night, everyone. This has been marvelous. Marvelous. Oh, thank you, Carly. You're too sweet. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night, Jim. Good night, John Boy. Oh, JRD, happy anniversary. It's going to be low key, but it's me and the wifey's 21st anniversary. What's the material for 21? Sleep. Is that the material? Good night, E. Good night, Angela. Good night, Jamal. Kitty Wong says, good night. Have a good night. Hang that disco ball up. Might have to hit the Discord. Yeah, thanks, Dino. Thanks for dropping in, man. Appreciate it. You stay safe out there. Hey, good night. All right, you guys. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN. Oh, man. Hold on. I'm not ready. I got more sips. Oh, that's ice cold. If you want to see more of me, you can watch Pencil to Pencil, where you might be watching this right now if you're watching this on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST. This coming Wednesday, we have cartoonist in good standing, Keith Knight. You probably saw his show Woke on Hulu. Go and watch it again and again. Keith told me go and watch it and just like put it on and go leave the room and let it just rank up so that they get a second season. So got to support the fam. He's going to be on the show on Wednesday. I'm very excited to speak to him. You can also see me every Thursday night, God willing, 9 p.m. EST, drinking coffee at Dukeshire in the middle of the night and hanging out with my buddies. And also, if you would like to join my Patreon, there's even more videos. What? Does this guy even draw? Yes, I do that too. I have very special content on the Patreon. I have, you know what I'm going to say. It ain't hard to tell. My Patreon exclusive Q&A podcast with Mike Hawthorne. You know Mike Hawthorne, that Marvel exclusive artist who draws hits like Deadpool, Daredevil, Spider-Man. You know that guy. It's probably one of the highlights of my every other Wednesday is, Mike and I get real deep with it. I also have the Morning Constitutionals. I have the Car John, right? Colleen, you love the Car John. There's so much content. Why don't you stop messing around and get on the bus? And a good looking out again to my $2 patrons. It's always great to see your faces. Thank you so much. All right, let's get out of here. All right, you've been watching Coffee Break with JN. I am JN. Jamar Nicholas, as you may, is my government, holding down the Commonwealth of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You guys have a great night. What happens here? Well, I get to drink coffee out of a mug and run my mouth. And when I'm out of coffee, the video's over. Have a good one.